I do that because there's a little kid somewhere around here who loves pro wrestling, is getting inspired to be in this business. By the way, don't do it. But then I look at Samoa Joe, someone who I once idolized, someone who had one of the greatest championships runs in American professional wrestling history at Ring of Honor. And now I see what Joe is doing with the Ops. And I see that he's gonna lead Hook down the wrong path. But you know what? You know what? Before Joe can corrupt Hook, before Joe can come out here and say he's a real AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe, look at me in my eyes. I live behind these cameramen. Zoom in, do your job. Thank you very much. Joe, I was out for 18 months with a knee injury, and all I could think about was being back in this ring, because this ring gives me peace. I have no peace in this life. The only peace I have is when I'm in this ring fighting. And Joe, on December 10th, winter is coming. Do me a favor, don't be a defend the title against me.
Wow, Eddie Kingston.
I'm gonna ruin your life. I'm coming for your career. I'm coming for every good memory that these people remember you for. I'm coming for it all. And oh, I didn't forget. This is for you. By the way, I hope you're watching at home. You remember last year at WrestleMania backstage when you came up to me in the back in the hallway and you said, well, congratulations on all the success, kid. Let's see if you can cut a promo with the big dogs now. Well, la-di-da. Consider the promo cut. Because on January 5th, when you're on your ass looking up at the lights and I'm standing over you and they announce me as the new heavyweight champion of the world, you will look into my eyes with your beady, stupid face and realize you are not even close to the badass Braun Breaker, the real best in the world. Damn!
In 3, 2, 1, clap.
Huh?
Benoit balls.
I still think Kevin Sullivan did it.
I'm Aubrey Edwards. I'm not a wrestler.
Tony's quick sniffs of the week.
No, just my dickhead friends causing concussions and shit. All right, never mind.
There's barbecue sauce. So good, half the face don't work.
With Hogan that close up on the fucking camera reminds me of my racist uncle. I know you ain't listening, but you know who you are, you fucking racist.
Uncle Oh my God, for real, don't tell me that's his name. No way. I was kidding. I swear to God. It was just the first thing that came to my head. It was the first thing.
Welcome to the Top of Wrestling with your hosts ODM and the Professor.
Good Wrestling Day! It's the Top of Wrestling podcast, and I'm sure you guys are ready to talk about Wargames! I just stepped on ODM's dick. My bad. Hey, welcome on back. It's the Top of Wrestling podcast. I'm the Professor. He's ODM. Glad you guys could be here like you are every Wednesday at noon. Today we are going to be talking Survivor Series 2025. We got news, we got results, we got Bring It to the Table. Monday Night Wars 25 years later. We are heading into Armageddon 2000. And one of my favorite promos of all time happens on Raw. And I'm excited to talk about that. Plus, this week, it worked out perfect. Last week, I said, I thought we were doing War Games this week, but we're doing it next week. We'll see how this weekend fares with us talking about the best of WWE and NXT's versions of War Games. And Jesus Christ, was there an outburst online between the internet wrestling community all being upset about I don't even know what. I mean, I feel like there was no surprises. I'm not sure what everybody was upset about, but we're going to get into that this week as well. So let's bring him in. ODM.
Hey-o. So I was at Wheezy's the other day, and
I love a good sunny.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
I do it at darts all the time. So, yeah, it's a new thing. Ever since the one guy had
Hey-o. I'm a cheetah, pitches. What do you guys want to do with this?
I actually think I was just watching that episode.
I'm a man cheetah. That's what it is.
Man cheetah. The Charlie work was just on. That's a great one. But I was at Wheezy's house the other night. We were watching Raw, and he told me, he was like, oh, shit, you know what? I got a couple icy lights in the fridge. I'm going to get one. I don't know if you're familiar with IC Light. It's Iron City Light. It's the Pittsburgh version of Genesee. Beer I drank a lot of when I was down there for college. So I thought it was a fitting way to celebrate after Sunday's victory. Go Bills, hit the music!
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna shout.
Oh, it was nice to have a non-struggling win on Sunday.
Well, the second half at least. The first half was one of the worst football games I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
I got to be honest, I got some really good news during the beginning of the game that I didn't give a fuck about what was going on with the Bills. I'll just kind of quickly say it, whatever. My boy, Nate, you know him. He is getting married next year, and he asked me to officiate the wedding. So nice. I was like, oh, that's I'm excited about that. So I didn't give a fuck about the Bills during that. However, it's funny that you say, hit the music. I was texting with Brother Marty last week, and I said, I want to let you know before you listen to the show this week, if you happen to. We talk about Bret Hart, man. Now, Bret is something that Marty holds dear to him. Again, me, top 3, right? For Marty, It may be actually just number one for him, if I'm not mistaken. But I had told him, I said, just heads up, I go, we're just talking about his bitterness. And he was like, this is the one guy, man. This is the one guy I don't let anybody fuck with. And I was like, well, that's why I'm pre-telling you this. I'm like, just giving you a heads up. And he wrote back, well, at least I won't have to hear the Bills theme this week. It was funny to hear him, basically say to me, he was like, out of all the things, Bret, some of our heroes, they are all becoming bitter as fuck. But there's not a lot of bad stories about Bret. You got dick swinging Ric Flair. You got racist Hulk Hogan. You got, all these different things, right? Other than Bret being bitter, there's not much we can really bitch about Bret. So he's like, let him just be bitter. I go, all right, that's a fair take on it, right? Like, he's one of the guys that didn't do anything wrong. So it was just funny that became a conversation last week off to the side. But it's funny because I texted you. Yeah, he said he's very happy that we won't be doing the shout song this week. And I'm like, the guy lives like 15 minutes from the stadium.
Well, so sorry. Not really, but we appreciate you listening.
No, we all have our opinions. That's great. And they all, what is it? They all smell like assholes or whatever. Anyway, hey, man, R.I.P. Man, this one, I don't know, got me. A wrestler could have passed away, and I would have been like, oh, well, that sucks. But this one, I'm like, oh, fuck. CM Punk's dog died, Larry, just before we recorded today, like within like a couple hours of it. Yeah. And what's crazy is he just wore, at WrestlePalooza, he wore the jacket that said, the WrestlePalooza, he wore the jacket that said AJ's husband. Mm-hmm. And then at Wargames, it said Larry's dad. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, that's sick. I was like, I like that.
He can keep the jacket because he can just add one letter to it and it'll be accurate.
Wow.
Come on. You know, this is the second R.I.P. Larry we've done on this show. Remember Alexis Pig?
Larry the Pig. You did a whole fucking eulogy.
We didn't have enough time.
We're not fucking around with Larry the dog.
No,
I'm a dog
absolutely.
guy, so we don't fuck around with that.
Yeah.
No.
And you know what I liked about his Instagram post was he shouted out the shelter that they adopted him from. I thought that was cool. So
I loved looking at pictures of Larry because he had those bottom teeth that came up to like his eyes. Like, it's just, you know, it's a good looking dog. Well, not a good.
No,
looking,
really,
it was a cute
not really.
dog. Yeah, not really. WWE officially did drop a version of the women in the Vegas poker room heading in for WrestleMania. I'm not sure if it was, there was some backlash. People being like, wow, no women in this. I don't know if they were sitting on it or they did it because people said anything, but because they did it, no one can say shit now. So, oh well.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they had it in the can. No, he'll be fine. People just like to get outraged, and we're going to talk about that fucking later, too. But, I mean, you know, who gives a shit? Just watch the fucking show and shut up.
Well, amen, because that's, for me, Survivor Series. That's kind of how I'm at, so we'll get there. You know, we should just name this show We'll Get There. We always do that. We're like, we'll get there.
Right.
So, Claudio Castagnoli went over to Mexico this past weekend and defeated the world champion Gran Guerrero for the CMLL world title, which is just furthering the relationship with AEW and CMLL, really. But cool for Claudio, nothing major. But also in Mexico, but at a AAA event, El Grande Americano defeated El Hijo de Vikingo, the son of the Viking. There was another, El Grande that showed up there. Viking was trying to rip off Americano's mask, but he still was able to get the metal shield or whatever he does that he puts in there and then does the running headbutt. When he beat El Hijo, the fucking crowd popped so hard for El Grande Americano. It's him and Dom that are the most over things in AAA right now.
Yeah, not surprising. They probably think the whole gimmick is amazing. If anything, just kind of laughable, right?
It's dumb and hokey enough that it works.
Yeah, exactly. It's without being too over the top, right? It's not like he's carrying around a fucking plunger or being a plumber or a fucking dentist, right? It's just cheesy enough. And then Dom's just Dom. I mean, we don't have to sell that one.
He's starting to lean into like a Scarface look with the glasses he had on.
I loved those glasses.
Yellow tinted ones.
Yeah.
Well, Liv almost broke them.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I love him even more.
Another 9,000 tickets have been sold for Wrestle Kingdom since they announced that Kazuchika Okada was going to be the one who is facing Hiroshi Tanahashi. They have decided to go with a smaller set for the stage. This is going to be the biggest crowd in the Tokyo Dome for wrestling in a non-WWE capacity outside of US type show since Antonio Inoki's 1998 retirement match.
Jeez.
Hiroshi Tanahashi is just as big as Inoki in some eyes. I'm saying maybe to the newer generation, right? It's like the Cena to the Hogan.
Right.
This is going to be a huge crowd for the Tokyo Dome. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to watch this one. That'll be January 4th. TNA, they officially signed a $30 million deal to air on AMC. President Carlos Silva from TNA, he confirmed they will still be working with NXT because the working with them actually is what helped make the deal come to fruition. There's no way any TV station was like, yeah, we'll give you $30 million and we'll do this deal or whatever. And it's like being tagged along with WWE really was the big thing for them, and smart move.
Oh, absolutely. And it's hilarious because I saw, this was another thing that I think dropped right before we started recording, or at least pretty close to. And I saw a lot of people reporting, and again, I use that term loosely, air quotes, but a lot of people were saying, oh, yeah, TNA and NXT, that relationship's over now that they've signed the deal with AMC. I'm like, you sure about that?
Well,
you
it's
sure
funny
about
you say that? Because I did actually have that written in the notes originally, but then TNA President Carlos Silva actually put the memo out saying this does not end the relationship, and he said we got this because of this partnership.
Right. There you go.
Good for him, giving credit where it's due. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of NXT, Trick Williams and Lash Legend, they got engaged. Yay.
Yeah, sure.
Ring of Honor final battle is this Friday. I don't give a shit. I mean, Athena is defending against someone. Oh, she's against
Athena has defended that.
Personify.
Athena's defended that title at every ROH pay-per-view since TK bought him.
100%. And Mercedes is going to be defending one of her championships, maybe all of them.
Don't care.
Again, getting back into this, as I said I was going to try to. We got this week's hot takes. Or hot cakes, if you want to talk about. Anyway, we'll talk about takes first. First, I got to say, when you see a lot of things like someone swinging a kendo stick or kicking someone in the chest, I don't miss the days of when VKM and old Bucky Teeth were the ones in charge of the cameras, and it would be like switch, switch, switch on each kick to the point that you have either a seizure or throw up. I appreciate the camera work these days in WWE. Just got to throw that out there. I don't miss those old things. I say that because I went back and was glancing through some old Wargames to get ready for today's program. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't watch this shit. Oh, it's horrible. It was bad back then, but even worse now. Before we dive into the event itself, I want to get your opinion. First of all, with Wargames. No shark cages. Good with it or not good with it?
Perfectly fine with it. I honestly don't remember how the OGs and WCW went, if they had the shark cages or not.
They didn't. Sometimes they would actually be around the ring ready to go.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, yes, that sounds about right. No, the Shark Tank, honestly, the only two times I can think of, and there might be more, that the shark cage really did anything was when Punk went to go out and Roman stopped him and sent Zayn.
Yep.
And Dakota Kai turning on Tegan Nox again.
You took both of them. I could have put $1 million down on that, and I'm broke as fuck, and I would have won the bet on that.
That's other than that, what fucking purpose does it serve? They got to stand around there, which means they have to be on the whole time, standing there in a cage. No, it's dumb. Just let them come out and be surprised that way.
How big of a shark cage could you even use? Take Braun Breaker was the first one out. Right? He was the first one in the match. In one shark cage, you got Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and who would have been the fourth on
Drew
that
McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. It's a lot of fucking meat in one cage. You know what I mean? Like, at least Roman was there with Punk and Sammy. Everybody could walk around very smoothly in that thing.
Right.
I'm okay without the shark cages. Everybody had a lot of hate online about this show, and I don't know... Look, I think it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. We said it. Women are the faces are going to win. Men, the heels are going to win. I don't know if people are upset because they're like the attacker wasn't revealed or like they were waiting for a big turn at the end, but like everything that happened served the exact purpose of what I thought that show was going to produce.
Yeah, 100%. Look at it this way. This is the way that I look at it. One, people are just spoiled. And people want turns, returns, every show. And it doesn't work that way because it wouldn't work anymore if it happened every show. It'd be meaningless, right? So there's that. I mean, I think people just get so spoiled, especially with AEW now, because they just go so over the top all the time that they just expect everything to be just like over the top and just like the biggest thing ever. It wasn't a very exciting show, but like you said, it did what it set out to do. It furthered the plot. And, I mean, for me, the War Games, I've kind of been tired of them anyway because where they used to mean something, now it's like, okay, we're gearing up. Who can we get in this thing? All right, let's start writing the story. You know what I mean? To me, it just doesn't hold the same weight that it used to, at least back in the NXT days. And I hate to jump ahead like this, but at least in the NXT days, it was two stables.
Right. Now we're putting people together. Well, I mean, WCW would bring people together. It wasn't stables. However, I'm glad you said that because you got Blood and Guts and you got War Games. What I got to say is there's ring psychology that's a part of things. And people could say, oh, well, there was no surprises or no turns. There were a lot of seeds planted. Lil Jon said it to the side to me and you. Dude, how good of a team would Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul be? Because the heat on them, how they work together, they already tagged together at SummerSlam.
Yep.
You know, little things like that. How about the fact that, and obviously we'll get there for Raw, but it opened with Braun Breaker and CM Punk and closed with Breaker pinning CM Punk. That's a big fucking thing. And obviously it does have ramifications when we get to Raw. There were a lot of seeds that were planted. There was even the part where Cody accidentally hit Punk, and I'm like, oh shit, where could we be leaning? So everybody bitching on it. I'm like, it wasn't as bad as I thought everybody else made it out to be. But the difference is and I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to get into Uncle Dave's claims of the week. He said that he believes the War Games aura has been killed because of Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts, they give you violence. And when you look at WWE's War Games, there's no big blow-away feel. It's just a match that has, you know, some psychology and wrestling. Or no, he didn't use psychology. That's the word I'm using. It doesn't have... it's not about violence, it's about trying to further storylines. I'm like, yeah. Like, that's the fucking point, man. I mean, I get, like, not every War Games match should be, like, all right, look, I liked the years they had Bloodline. It was awesome, right? It looked good. Last year, we put people together, and it's okay. I think it works. Was this year the best one? No, probably not. But I got to be honest with you. He's sitting here protecting Blood and Guts. Blood and Guts had 4,000 people in the crowd. War Games, whether good or bad, had 40,000 people in that goddamn stadium. You tell me what was better.
Yeah, like you said, it's just violence for the sake of violence with literally no payoff. Like if you watched the Nitro, not the Nitro, see, Dynamite,
the Nitro,
yeah, Dynamite after Blood and Guts, you would have no clue that Blood and Guts just happened, other than they might be
no, because they just dipped right back into the Continental Classic.
They just on to the next thing.
That's a really, really great point. And for me, you know, Uncle Dave can complain and say that, you know, it's the Blood and Guts has killed the aura of War Games. I put them on two different levels. I know what I'm getting with this. Now, here's the deal. I saw a video today. It said, look at the difference between the women's War Games matches and the Blood and Guts. One of the girls had their foot on Becky in the corner on her face, and she was selling, being like, like in the cage. But then you see Marina Shafir slam glass into her foot and then kick someone with it. And they're like, which one's better? I'm like, well, the first one. Do we really want to have someone step on someone's face so much to the point that they, I don't know, have a fucking aneurysm, die, whatever the fuck you want to call it? Like, there's safe work and then there's dumb work.
Yeah, 100%.
It's an indie mud show. It's an indie fucking mud show match.
Yep, 100%. And here's
speaking of, Uncle Dave gave Felcher and Briscoe 5 stars at last week's pay-per-view.
All right,
and that was a straight indie mud show.
Again, we just continue to prove his unreliable, critiques of stuff, because basically what you're telling
I'm sorry,
me,
Tony Khan's calling. Hang on.
Yeah. Again, we're going to use the example again. So you're going to tell me that match, Felcher and Briscoe, was better than every Kurt Angle match ever.
Yep.
And here's
the
other.
Probably find a different reference, but yes, that one still stands just as true.
And here's the other thing. Blood and Guts is killing War Games. Well, think about this. How did the women's Blood and Guts match end? They were basically going to kill Sugar Tits, and Tony Storm threw in the towel.
Is Sugar Tits Mina?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. I saw it. Yeah, no, you're right. When I saw, yeah.
Shoo, shoo,
okay.
shoo, 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 shoo.
Okay, so yes, Tony submitted for Sugar Tits.
Right. Sounds kind of familiar. If I remember correctly, there was a Wargames match in WCW where somebody was going to kill Ric Flair and somebody else submitted. Seems very familiar. I don't know. Maybe I'm just conflating two things. I don't know.
So about the one where
Mongo.
They slam the door on his face.
Mm-hmm.
The opening of that Nitro the next day, just the picture of him with like all these weird like bandages up his nose. I was like, great opening, boys. But also, to close out Uncle Dave's claims of the week, he said in her hometown, Nikki Bella should have won the title at Survivor Series, but instead she lost clean, and he thinks that this is ruining her legendary status.
What are you on about? Stop snorting TK's Coke.
Are we seriously talking about Nikki Bella's legacy and saying that she should have beat Stephanie Vaquer? And he's saying it's the fact that she lost clean as a heel. And he's saying it's taken away all of the credibility of her heelness.
She's a one-off.
Doesn't matter if she's a face, a heel, a clown. There's no credibility to her, man. Like, she's John Cena's ex-girlfriend. She's got a big pair of tits. Her sister looks like her and is married to Daniel Bryan. That's
there you go.
The fucking gist of it all. And
there
the reason she's here is she has to pay alimony to a guy that she beat the fuck out of with a shoe.
Yeah.
She stole Tony Storm's gimmick.
Pretty
Watch
much.
for the shoe.
And she's going to be in a Hallmark movie, too. I think. Christmas movie?
Nikki is?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, the Bills one dropped on Hallmark at one point.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
Yeah. I just want to see if the girl gives him a hand job off in the parking lot of the Ralph.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Bills movie if that didn't happen.
And then pukes.
Yeah, and then pukes. Puke on that thing.
How much you on that thing?
Aga.
So on Dynamite, speaking of Tony Storm, she was in the ring with Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir. Oh, God, it's weird to say this. Marina's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I don't necessarily mean as a wrestler. So we'll say in the Mike Weezy, Nia Jax way.
The what? Oh, Nia Jax. Wait, Schaefer's
the Wheezy Jax way, yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. She's doing it for you, huh? You want somebody to throw you around?
Do you know how she chokes people out? She doesn't choke them from like behind where you choke a throat like a headlock.
Yeah.
She turns you where your face is into her and she chokes you out that way. And
well, there was the great shot of her. There was the great shot of her doing that to Anna Jay.
Yes. And it's called Mother's Milk. I'm like, I want to try the submission, see if I'd tap.
Sweet baby Jesus. Might as well be Nicole Bass.
I had to think we're China. What do you want? Anyway, Tony's in the ring. Mina, Sugar Tits, is over at the entranceway. This is the one where I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's who you meant. And Tony says to Moxley, who is trying to hold Schaefer back, we are going to have a holiday death match. And then drops the mic. And that's going to be tonight on Dynamite. Yay.
Outstanding.
A couple of what you would call upsets in the first matches of the Continental Classic. Kyle Felcher defeated Kazuchika Okada, who is the reigning champ in this thing. So I feel like Kyle should have the title. Anyway. And then LA Knight defeated Darby Allin in that opening match as well.
Come again?
What'd I say?
LA Knight.
Oh my God, it just says Knight. Kevin Knight. Wow, good call. Thank you.
I was like, really?
Yeah. Actually, Kevin Knight. No.
Sorry,
no. Yeah, you're right. It was a wrong night. Wow, good call. Thank you for that. Swerve and Hangman, they are joining forces. They're trying to go after the Ops. On the way to the ring, Hangman stops at the bar and does a shot and grabs a beer. And I go, that's the shit we liked of him back in like 2019. I'm not going to lie. Like, you remember him and Swagger in the middle of that one fight? They just both stop, go to the bar, drink, and then fight again. That's the Hangman I liked, and then you went and made him a champion.
Yeah, and put studded bedazzled jeans on him.
Look at the butterflies, Chew. Did you see one of the ladies? I sent this to you. One of the ladies, it's AEW, where the best wrestle. One of the girls did a fucking moonsault to go land on the girl that's laying, perfectly right in the middle of the ring at the right spot. She goes so far that she lands on her feet and then goes, oops, too far, and then just falls down on her.
Yep. Like, it was almost like, she's like, okay, well, what we can do is I'll do the splash so it looks like I landed the moonsault, and we'll just fix it in post. This is live.
This is live, pal.
Awful.
You have half a brain that I do. And Eddie Kingston called out Samoa Joe for the title match for Winter is Coming, which is on my birthday, December 10th. Promise you, Dynamite is not what I'll be doing on December 10th.
No.
On SmackDown, the MFTs defeated Sami Zayn, the Motor City Machine Guns, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rey Fenix in the Survivor Series elimination match, only for at the end, the Wyatt Sucks to appear and boo. End of the show. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about Survivor Series, which was on Saturday night. Good looking stadium. I liked how it looked with the cage, how everything looked out there. I've been there. Don't tell me, ODM, I was there. I was there to see the Padres and the Mets, and I wore a Mets jersey and got booed out of the stadium.
Cool story.
Not really, but I did wear the Mets thing. It's not as bad as the Wish Benoit was here moment.
Well, yeah, no. Some moments are hard to top.
Okay, so Women's War Games starts the match. And obviously, it starts the night is what I meant. And the faces win. You got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Charlotte, Alexa Bliss, and AJ Lee defeating the Kabuki Warriors, Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and Becky Lynch. Okay, multiple things you got to talk about. Loved Rhea Ripley's Art the Clown mask. Nice little nod to it. It's funny because I'm seeing online, she should just be in Terrifier 4. I'm like, she probably will be.
It's so much so I'm already seeing things saying that she reportedly is. So I don't know if it's probably just conjecture at this point, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So, I didn't watch Survivor Series live. We had people over, so I was going to watch it later.
Yeah,
and
lightweights
my
over.
Wife was sitting, yeah, we did have lightweights. And my wife was hanging on the couch, and I go, yo, you got to see Rhea's mask. And I hit pause. And she goes, why does she only have 4 fingers? I go, what the fuck are you talking about? It was the exact moment where she does her wave, where she's like her multiple finger quick wave of, I don't know how the fuck you want it, like a swirl of fingers. Anyway. And I got her looking like Penguin from Batman Returns. Just random. Smart move. They left Lash Legend to be the very last person in the match. She's the greenest, and they also said it was her very first match on the main roster. I think it was a smart move how they did it. She came in and cleared house and did everything the right way, only for the faces to make their return. They made Lash Legend look really strong. That was a smart move. Again, everybody like, oh, this thing sucked. Did you see what they just did to her? They made her look like $1 million. She already looks better than Jade Cargill.
Yeah, no shit. Right. Oh,
who is your champion, by the way?
It's actually funny. Weezy and I were just talking about that last. Oh my God, why we were Jade Cargill. Remember we talked about her wardrobe malfunction a while ago. I think I found a picture of it. Yeah, I have a picture of it though. I found one.
Yeah, I saw it. It wasn't a nip slip.
No,
it was a lip slip.
I think it was like a head slip.
Of course, Io Sky did her trash can
sausage
spot.
slip.
Sausage.
Yeah. Now here is one thing I am going to complain about, because you took a moment that was cool and you devalued it year after year to the point where she's got her fucking name on the garbage can now.
Yo, this is Kofi Kingston doing all of his different ways to stay in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, not wrong.
It's funny though, because if you watch, Io has the trash can on, you watch her hand move, she puts one and starts shuffling, going, to the right, everyone. Like everyone had to move a bit for her. And then she jumped. I was like, Jesus Christ.
To the left.
Now trash can. Anyway. Do you know why everyone was so colorfully dressed? Now, I understand the one with Charlotte. Was it the girl with brain cancer by ringside? She's the one that
she had a medical condition or something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. I think they gave her
I was watching on mute at first, and then glad I turned it up before I had anything to say.
With Nia Jax, I think that was a promo for direct subs. But
love you, AI.
No. Nia Jax, actually, I think that's based off of the Padres City Connect jerseys.
Okay. But I have an extreme theory as to why everybody was in multiple, like, highlighter colors. Sun hadn't gone down at this place. They even showed a point where they backed up and the sun was, you could tell, was beating on some parts of people who are there in the stadium. Sun's going down. I personally think, and this is just me, they made all those women change gear, different colors, being like, it is going to be bright as fuck out there. And if there's so many of you in the ring, if it was just fucking Nia Jax versus Asuka, we don't need, we can tell who's who by looking, right? But you had 10 women in the ring. You needed to have different things that were setting people apart. And I think that that's why everybody was so multicolored as they normally aren't. Nia Jax wears fucking black. She's never worn, or like black, maybe purple. She's never worn that many colors to the ring. Fine with Charlotte, fine with Alexa Bliss. But even, who the fuck was it? Anyway, my point is, I think it had to do with the it was so bright outside.
Interesting theory. I think it was just a coincidence. Like I said,
Yeah,
I think Naya's from San Diego, so she's a Padres fan, so she just did that.
Funny you say that, because the guy who is from San Diego, Dirty Dom, regained his title from Cena. Huge fucking pop. Dude, I really, really, really thought Dom got injured. They did this spot so well.
Yeah.
They even panned away with the camera. I go, fuck! But I knew he was fine the moment Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez started beating up Cena. I go, oh my God, this is a fucking, this is going to be a feint. He's going to jump back in the ring. And he did, but Cena still did a kick out at this point. But do you realize that Cena, in his final PLE pay-per-view match, to be defeated by Dom, had to go through not only Dom, but Raquel, Roxanne, JD, and Finn, who jumped in there, which, by the way, one of the best double AAs I have seen ever. It's like Finn held on to JD, and they both just fucking did the flip at the right time. Usually someone jumps off just ahead of time, where he's holding both guys up, and someone kind of slips off a little bit ahead of time. They both took that fucking AA, and I go, that was the best one ever. And then Liv Morgan. He had to go through everybody in the Judgment Day, and he lost. That many people had to take out Cena during his last match.
Yep.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yet people are complaining about it. I just love that they did.
What?
They did the Cena turning on Cody spot to Cena.
Yes.
It's fucking great.
Well, at first when she did that to Dom, my wife was like, why? I go, oh, he's been diddling those other chicks in the group. I'm like, that's neither here nor there. And then she jumped on him and they did the zoom in. I go, oh, this is a crazy bitch. Oh, fuck. And then she was with Dom. And then she did it on Raw. She slaps him and then fucking jumps up and starts kissing him. I'm like, I knew I loved
Finn. Yeah, well, yeah. Finn's reaction to that was great. He's fucking awesome.
So yeah, I thought that was great. The whole stable, being a part of it, and for anybody complaining that Cena went out that way, that's the way Cena needed to go out, against 6 fucking people beating him. Mm-hmm. Stephanie Vaquer retained against Nikki Bella. Right call. Didn't watch the match. The men's Wargames match: Lesnar, McIntyre, the Bronze, and Logan Paul defeated CM Punk, the Usos, Cody, and Roman. I did mention this earlier. Love that Punk and Breakker begin the match and they end the match. Great little nod with Cody and Punk doing the heart attack on Breakker. I go, nice. Then they did the Doomsday, and I was like, okay, you guys are done replicating moves here. Fuck, you almost just killed Braun Breaker.
Yeah, thankfully he's got a big meaty neck, so it saved him, and he used it on his promo on Raw, which we'll get to.
He did.
My favorite spot on this was Roman goes to do the Superman punch to Lesnar, and Lesnar catches him and immediately F5s him through the announce table. It was fucking dope. It looked great.
Probably one of my favorite Lesnar performances in a while. He came in and just beat the fuck out of everybody, which is normally what he does, but This is a good version of him. I like this one.
And he cut off the yeeting, run it back.
Oh my god! So that was. It's funny because Punk was actually still using the chair and hitting people, but then there's videos you see him playing the fucking guitar on the chair during
Like
the
Laparca?
roll it back. Yeah, basically like Laparca. I'm so mad, but the good news is after Raw, I don't think we're rolling it back anytime soon.
Oh, it's time.
So let's talk about Raw. Loved Dirty Dom and Liv roll up in the lowrider. And, you know, Liv gives hugs to everybody, but then she has like a quick couple words with Finn specifically. And they're like, okay, cool. All right, we're good. Rhea and Io are saying to the Kabuki Warriors they want a championship match. And Io says, hey, Asuka, Rio is ready for Asuka. So they call themselves
I was because I was with Wheezy, and I don't think Wheezy knows too much about Riho.
Sure.
But it's weird because it's not Riho, it's Rio.
Rio. Fuck
She
you.
comes
Same
from
thing.
Rio and I don't remember the words.
Then Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss come out, and you know we're basically going to have a contendership match later on tonight. What killed me is they go, okay, tonight. And then one of the music's hit. I don't fucking know, and it doesn't matter. They all just stood in the ring looking at each other and going like, yeah, this is happening tonight.
What should
look
we
over.
do?
Hey, we're on a team, right? Yeah. All right, let's look back at them. Hey, we're having a match tonight? Yeah. All right, I'm going to look back at my partner. Hey, we're partners, right? It was just back and forth. I go, someone fucking fade out or do something. Someone could have left the ring. The match isn't even fucking until later on.
Yeah.
Pierce hasn't even said yes yet.
Yeah, they actually just cut to him, and he's on the phone with somebody, telling the person on the phone that match is going to be official.
All right, I got to go, honey. Bye. LA Knight. This is an upset to me. I don't give a fuck how anybody looks at it. Yes. LA Knight defeated Jey Uso. I couldn't have been happier. I literally threw my arms in the air and went, whoa, yes!
Thank God.
I did not think it was happening.
Thank
we
God.
really thought we were getting Gunther Uso 3.
Uh-huh. Yep. Damn straight. Now, I see you do have a note here, and I don't know if you're talking about post-match or during the match. Because during the match...
throwing the tantrum?
Yeah.
Well, mine was mostly about the post-match.
Okay.
But go ahead with the mid-match.
So at one point, it looks like Uso goes up to the top rope to hit a move. LA Knight does the thing where, like, you know, you get up, you run towards, you jump to the second buckle, you set up the superplex, and you hit it, right? So he hits the superplex. And when Jay came down, he took the bump, and he kind of sat up and rolled over, and he started slapping the mat. It didn't look like he was selling. It looked like he was throwing a tantrum. It looked like he took a bump the wrong way, or Knight said something to him that pissed him off, but he was like slamming the mat like he was angry. It was weird.
I wonder if it was they told him to maybe start throwing tiny tantrums in the match.
Yeah, maybe.
So at the ending,
It was weird, though.
Like
I said, it didn't seem like selling. It was just weird. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, he starts throwing the prime bottles and starts throwing everything and basically throwing a temper tantrum like a 4-year-old. It was fun to watch. And then Gunther defeats Solo Sikoa. Crowd gave a huge pop when Gunther won. It was done right because with Tala Tonga there and getting involved. Favorite part of the match, Solo. He's low-key the funniest fucking person on the roster to me. He threw Gunther in the corner really hard and then stood up and put his hands behind his back the way Gunther does.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like when he does Penta's walk and shit like that.
Right.
Sorry, I'm getting all choked up. Anyway.
Yeah, I know, right?
Liv Morgan, she's back in control of the Judgment Day. No one said shit on the mic except for Dom for like maybe a minute. And I was watching how she was interacting with everybody because I was like, yeah, she's going to be kicking Roxanne out at some point. We all know that's coming. And then she goes, oh yeah, Dom, one more thing, and slaps him. And I'm like, oh, here's the turn we were waiting for. Dom's kicked out. Then she just jumps on him and starts kissing him. And I go, okay, I don't understand you, but I love you.
She's a psycho bitch, but, you know.
So there was a really weird video package. And it was Maxine Dupree just...
Again!
Like, no, I want to fight again! And it turns out she's at the dungeon with... We're going to use this name first. What everybody knows her as in WWE. Natalya Neidhart, right? Natalya. if you look at her on the indie scene, when she did Bloodsport and things like that recently, she's natty, and she is like a Shayna Baszler type heel. I'm saying right now, I think that she is beating the fuck out of Maxine just to eventually take over and win the title from her, which I would love. I would love a heel natty at this point, one that doesn't fart.
Yeah, no shit, right?
No shit.
It was a, I thought it was a good vignette. You got to do something with Maxine. I'm still not really, I know she's naturally getting over, and that helps. But there's nothing about her that draws me in and says, yeah, I want to see her have the title for a while and get some wins under her belt. She certainly has improved in the ring. This is like the traditional story, right? Master and teacher. It's Bruno and Zbyszko,
What's funny to me, though, she already won the goddamn title.
I know,
Ivy
right?
Nile goes to Adam Pearce and goes, I want to face her. And he goes, well, she's off training, getting ready. Getting ready for what? You already won the title. Now it's defending mode. That's what you trained for. It's weird that she's now off, and that's why I think that the next feud will be with her and Natty, and I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah. They've already been friends for a while. They've been seen together for a while, so it's perfect. Yeah. Run it.
Yeah. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee phenomenally defeated the New Day to retain the tag titles.
AJ Lee.
We've all seen it. We've seen AJ Lee.
Bro.
We've all seen the spot in the last 24, 48 hours. It was one of my favorite spots of 2025.
Fuck yeah.
AJ Styles lifts up Kofi Kingston like he's going to do a suplex, but puts him waist first on the top rope. Mm-hmm. Dragon Lee jumps off the top of that rope. And look, you could give credit to Dragon Lee, but he's not doing much of the work compared to what Kofi had to do. Kofi popped his body off just enough, the right way, and landed perfectly for a Styles Clash setup with AJ, where I kind of wish Dragon didn't go and do the other dive. I kind of wish it went right to it that quick. But Dragon Lee does the dive. You get the the Styles Clash. As soon as he popped into his arms, if you watch the crowd, everybody stood up at that moment like, Jesus Christ.
I did.
It was a sick moment. I very loved that moment. That was great.
And let's not stop there. The match itself was actually really solid.
Yeah, dude. New Day are, as much as you're like, do I need to see him on my TV? They work people, man. They do a good job, and they make other people look really good. Kofi's a good seller, man. And Xavier's not too far behind. Paul Heyman does his promo on, basically his Survivor Series team, thanking Drew. It was a pleasure to work with you. Lesnar, you're still the beast. Logan Paul is officially a part of the vision.
Yep.
Basically what he said. He fits Paul Heyman's vision. And then Braun Breaker is going to be the man to challenge CM Punk for the world title January 5th, the first Netflix of the year. And it's kind of like a 1-year anniversary to them doing it last year, their first showing. It's funny to me. This one makes me laugh because right after it was over, Dave Meltzer was like, so coming out of everything, it's looking like it's going to be Roman and Cody 3 and CM Punk and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. And here we are doing it in January. Good job, Dave.
Way to go, fella. Way to go.
Because I can't see, let's just say Breaker wins or doesn't win. You're spoiling a good head-to-head match if you are going to do it at WrestleMania. So they're not going to do it at WrestleMania is my feel.
Exactly. So do you think they do it? You think they pull the trigger? You think they should pull the trigger?
I would, on a Raw, to be honest with you.
You've talked about it.
Let me say this.
Random Raws,
3.1 million was drawn for John Cena's final Raw at Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. If you're opening Netflix, season for Raw on January 5th, if there's a possibility Breaker could actually win, I think that could be one of the highest rated ones in a long time without your John Cena, Roman Reigns star power. And I would like to see him win. Will it happen? I don't know. My luck, actually, what it will be...
Punk will get injured.
Jesus Christ. No. It'll be that masked person, and somehow it goes to a draw.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Hopefully not. Yeah. Okay. What did you think of Breaker's promo?
Oh, it was solid.
Yeah.
Especially once he ripped his coat off and he was getting pissed, the saying that I'm going to be the best in the world. He spiked the mic and it landed directly into Logan Paul's hands, and he had no choice but to go, damn, and drop the mic because Breaker's promo was that. It was passionate. And then he left his entire crew behind. He's like, all right, fuck this, guys. I'm out of here, and just leaves everybody.
It was great. You know what it reminded me of? He reminded me a little bit of MJF.
Oh, man. You just
no.
made me not like Braun Breaker.
I'm just saying the tension between MJF
you tell
and
me
Punk.
next he reminds you of Goldberg?
Yeah, well, obviously. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's very clear.
It's funny because he looks like Rick Steiner, but he sounds just like Scott Steiner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny because Whiskey Man keeps telling me, he's like, oh no, he looks like Scott Steiner. I'm like, no, the fuck he doesn't.
Doesn't he literally is the brother of Rick Steiner the way he looks.
Right.
Oh, that's why we don't listen to Whiskey Man. But in the women's contendership match, Kabuki Warriors get involved, then Bayley and Lyra get involved. And I'm sitting there going, okay, fatal four-way for the tag titles, probably at Netflix, the debut again, or new season. But then out comes the fucking Judgment Day. I go, oh, now you're throwing me off. Now I don't know. Are we doing a gauntlet? But a very important moment to talk about. Raquel and Roxanne pick up the titles, and Liv is there. Roxanne looks at the title and goes, this is yours, and hands it to Liv. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she's trying to show her respect, and Liv goes, no, this is yours. You deserved it. And then held both girls' hands up in the air. Because she also did confront Stephanie Vaquera backstage. And she said Judgment Day is taking all of the gold back. I don't know, man. I think there's no tension. I think they're going to try and make them just as strong as they've been before. I mean, they're a solid group that there's no reason they all can't keep going the way they're going right now. If you take Finn out, fine, or something like that. But group's going pretty solid, I think.
I wonder if Liv and Roxanne are going to become besties and they're going to boot Raquel. Turn her face. Interesting.
That's a good idea when you bring that to the table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
Trust you had a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Nice and chill.
It's funny because late Wednesday night you texted me, for my polka dots. I'm like, you're welcome. It's the best video package promo for a Survivor Series of all time, and I love it. We're getting sardine stuffing in our turkey tonight. Yeah.
I'm rich, and you're not.
My favorite. I'm thankful for being the most ravishing person in WWF. I'm thankful because I ain't Ricky Rude. Thanksgiving Day, we were at my in-laws, and my sister-in-law said, we're all going to play a game today. It's a several-hour game where someone is going to get a miniature little, medallion type thing. It was a little turkey. And you're going to walk around with it until someone actually approaches you and goes, hey, do you have the turkey in your pants? And you have to keep going around and going around. There's going to be a prize at the end when the buzzer goes off. You want to be holding this fucking medallion. I held it the very first fucking hour. Because I kept staying away from everybody. I was like, nice. Every time because you have to whisper it. You can't just, hey, Mark, do you have it? You have to be able to come up to me. And then I had a chicken nugget and forgot the rules of the game. and then all of a sudden my nephew comes up from behind me and he goes, hey. I was like, Jesus Christ. He goes, do you have
how long have you been following me?
So I had to give it up to him.
So can I interject because you left a part out here? I'm assuming if somebody asks you if you have it and you have it, you have to give it to them?
Have to give it to them because you don't want to cheat.
Right. Speak for yourself.
Well, but also it's because
no, I know.
If you're like, I did ask you, though, and people can eventually start to figure it out. Yeah. Well, turns out at 4 o'clock when the buzzer went off, I had it. and I ended up winning $10. Not a major thing, but it was like, that's fucking cool, man. I was like, it was a fun game, but I went out to do a chicken nugget, and I forgot I had not, like, had a drink or anything, and I went right up to my nephew. I'm like, do you have a turkey in your pants? And I'm like, I bet that smells like skunk. Like when I saw your kids at Blue Cross Arena.
Oh, gotcha. It smelled like the art teacher.
It was fun. But also, our friends Dan and Christy, they were the reason I couldn't watch Survivor Series on time that night. Well, by a couple hours. Everybody went to bed pretty early. But we did a local VR room where you wear the VR goggles, but they give you a gun and you do all this stuff. It was inside of a goddamn mall where anybody could really walk in and watch and listen. And one of the things was a haunted room. We did a haunted room and then shooting zombies. Zombies one was fun. But in the fucking haunted room, I've told you, Dan and Christy are quite possibly the most fucking curseable, vulgar people I've ever hung with. Like, things they say. Yo, we're in the middle of the fucking mall, and we're like, cunt, fuck! Like, things jump in front of you because you're going through, quote-unquote, a haunted house, and it's, like, pitch black, and all of a sudden, there's this lady in a white dress with, like, long hair that looks like she's grabbing you. I was screaming. I fucking jumped several times. It was awesome. So, but then we got done with the alien thing. That was the second part, and there was a father there sitting there with, like, a 6-year-old kid. I go, well, I'm very glad that he wasn't here for the haunted house.
No shit, right?
Cool room. I mean, it's they're fun things to do, you know, if you go with a bunch of people. But the one thing it says, you cannot be under the influence of anything.
Sounds like a dare.
Well, come on, you know, anyway,
yeah, exactly.
So the funny part is how censored it is. My wife, when we go bowling, lifelong name of bowling name has always been Crack Pipe, spelled crack, P-Y-P-E, crack pipe. We all have names that we use. She put in Crack Pipe to go first with their name because you have to sign it and everything. And it says, we're sorry, we can't use this because this references drug paraphernalia. I go up and I wrote 3-leg, and it said, we're sorry, this actually talks about sexual innuendos. Christy, she just wrote Christ, and it said, this is against religious policy. Like, we were all, like, we made this thing kick out every one of our fucking nicknames. But they let me call myself Tripod.
Crypod?
Tripod, because I want to be third leg.
Oh,
so
okay.
they let me be Tripod.
I gotcha. Yeah.
But all 4 of us struck out on what we wanted to be. Oh, Dan wrote Slunt. We knew goddamn well that wasn't going through.
Yeah, seriously.
And he got to be Curves.
Jesus
Because they give you a suggestion after your name.
That gym that's for, never mind.
Anyway, what do you got going on?
I don't even fucking know anymore, dude. I'm so out of it. I have no fucking clue. No, So, obviously we're in, both personally and the podcast page, we're members of a lot of different wrestling groups online and different social media networks, right? And we always joke about the IWC. Fuck, we were just talking about it with Survivor Series and what a shit show it is. And honestly, that's the way. Anytime you get a group of people online talking about one subject, you're just going to see trolls and crybabies and marks and all that shit. Well, as I try not to mention too much because I don't want you to hurt my feelings, I do play Magic the Gathering. You're aware of that. We've talked about it. And so I'm a member of a couple of pages on Facebook for that. I just like to see people talking about strategies and different shit. But, dude, it ain't much different than the fucking IWC. I'd actually be interested to know who wears less deodorant, wrestling fans or Magic the Gathering players. It's probably a close race. It's probably pretty close.
I'm actually going to give the game one. Probably
yeah, you might actually be right because that's like one of the things that gets thrown around a lot, which is hilarious. I mean, I love it. I laugh at it. A lot of trolls, but one day, and so real quick, they release a new set quarterly, right? Some of it is just the cards are based off of Magic lore. Excuse me. And sometimes they do themed ones. Like they did Final Fantasy recently. They just came out with Avatar: The Last Airbender. They'll do themes for card sets. Well, this one guy fucking went on a fucking... It had to be an AI bot, or this guy just had no fucking life because every fucking post I saw was, if they did a WWE skit, what colors would John Cena be, and what do you have, trample or vigilance or haste? And he just kept doing it. It was post after post after post. And I'm like, and I started looking at the comments and kind of like, hey, man, I like wrestling too, but you're making me not like wrestling. Stop. It was so bad.
So did you DM that boy and be like, hey, man, not in this thread?
I should have, right? He's probably too cool for Magic the Gathering. That shows you everything right there. But, dude, it was just fucking hysterical. Because here's the thing. As a Magic the Gathering fan, I think he posed some legitimate questions after the first one, not the 30 that followed after. Like, he just started naming wrestlers. What kind of Magic card would this be? Like, Jesus Christ.
What kind of crazy wear would Seth Rollins wear in here?
Oh, my God.
I play D&D too.
See? There you go. I used to
was editor of a
masturbate
school magazine.
constantly.
Fucking Lemmy.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to masturbate constantly is the best one. Because watching Steve Buscemi go, yeah.
His friends start just beating the shit out of him.
Oh, man. Well, I mentioned it earlier. It's one of my favorite promos from The Rock of all time. I was waiting to see when this was going to come through in the Wars, and to be honest, I was a little worried it was going to be in a SmackDown promo. But damn it was on Raw, so let's go to the Wars.
Monday Night Wars! And the fact of the matter is this, is that The Rock knows this Sunday night, he has his work cut out for him. The Rock knows he's got 5 other guys he's got to compete with. And even if The Rock has got to beat Kurt Angle, which means I'm going to drink a big glass of milk, eat some chocolate chip cookies, and then maybe I'll take 3 Viagra. Or maybe The Rock is gonna face Rikishi. Beat Rikishi. I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. I did it. Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. Or maybe even The Rock has got to beat The Undertaker, the American badass. Beat him so bad that one more time he'll raise up. Rest in peace. Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife. Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, which means I gotta get in my pickup truck, drink some Steve Weisers, listen to some Backstreet Boys. And that's the bottom line, cause the great one said so. And one more thing, this Sunday night at Armageddon, The Rock is going to do all he can to win the WWE title. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Monday Night Wars. Kick it away, ODM.
Kick it away, boys. All right. So, Raw, December 4th. Raw is in the Meadowlands. It's the go-home show for Armageddon 2000. As usual, we get our SmackDown recap. Triple H and Stephanie were celebrating their 1 year of marriage. Austin was trolling Triple H and Stephanie throughout the night. And ends up, they turn the lights off in the room because they think Austin's coming in. You hear a big scuffle, and then the lights go on. You see Austin saying, "Happy anniversary, you dumb son of a bitch." Triple H ended up beating the shit out of Vince. We open up hot. Taker versus Rikishi. Angle shows up as Taker's going for old school, knocks him down. It continues to interfere and cause distraction. Rikishi wins, and Angle beats down Taker post-match. We have Michael Cole with Deborah, asks where Mick Foley is. He's at a book signing, and he's stuck in traffic. And next you get the Hardys with Lita versus Right to Censor, specifically Buchanan and Goodfather for the tag titles. Ref sends the rest of Right to Censor to the back. Malenko's watching in the back on a monitor, creeping on Lita. The Dudleys show up in the Right to Censor white T-shirts and ties and cause a distraction to allow Right to Censor to retain. Even Right to Censor is like, what the fuck is going on here? Road Dogg and K-Quick go to see Deborah. They want to know why the Hardys got a title shot. You know, we got screwed last week because of Teddy Long. Well, Deborah gives them a rematch, and then Edge and Christian come in and say, well, what the hell? So Road Dogg says, let's have a match. And Deborah says, whoever wins, this will relate to the tag titles. The Hardys are in the locker room with Lita. Malenko comes in with flowers, kicks it, just wants one chance. Lita says, oh, one chance. Let me see those flowers. Smashes the flowers over Malenko's head, and Matt kicks him out of the locker room. Rikishi is with Triple H in the locker room. They're going to be having a 6-man Hell in a Cell at Armageddon. It's going to be Taker, Rock, Austin, Triple H, Rikishi, and Kurt Angle, and it's for the title. Triple H wants to form an alliance, and yeah, there's that. Benoit versus Hardcore Holly. Benoit wins. Deborah's in their parking garage waiting for Mick Foley. Limo pulls up, but it's Vince. Back from break, Foley's limo shows up. Deborah starts complaining to him about everything that's been going wrong tonight. Everything's been going pretty smooth for a Raw. Vince walks into Triple H's locker room, asks Rikishi to leave. Vince says, I don't want to put Stephanie in the middle, so she's not here. And what the hell were you thinking? And Triple H basically turns it around on Vince. Hey, man, I call you all the time. You never answer your damn phone. It was a mistake. Kayfabe, pal. Mark is being silent just to spite me. And he's doing pantomiming, so that's fun.
You said I was going to interrupt you at some point.
I did, yes.
I'm over here
just... You would have. You wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes. But then again, this segment wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes because I would have been able to get through everything.
You've never lasted 10 minutes, but go ahead.
Yeah, I will. Hey, birds of a feather, right? Next, we get The Rock with Kevin Kelly.
Birds of a feather come together.
Ew. Just ew.
Good possible episode name.
It's no. As white comes.
Jesus Christ.
Indeed. The Rock is with Kevin Kelly, and this is where we get the infamous promo, where Rock just does impressions of everybody else that's going to be in the Hell in a Cell match. One of the best of his career, one of our favorites. I'm not going to sit here and try to describe it unless you want to go over some of your highlights.
Here, I'll give my best. Okay, hang on. Kurt Angle. I'm going to drink some milk. The Rikishi. I did it for The Rock. Ah, shut up, you thong-wearing fatty. I like that one. The Austin. I'm going to drink some beers. I'm going to have some more beers. Going to go do some stoners. Puts the hat on during. I fucking loved it. Again, the promo speaks for itself. You already heard it in the bumper during the Wars. It's one of my favorite Rock promos. Like, the crowd is getting increasingly like
amped up,
happier and cheering it on. They're like, fuck, what's the next one? And it's the game.
He's got a $2 slut of a wife for a $2 whore for a wife.
It's the best. Like, honestly, one of the best of The Rock all time. One of my favorite promos.
Absolutely. We cut to the commissioner's office. Taker storms out and Foley apologizes. Foley tells Deborah Kurt shouldn't get away with interfering, so you know what? He's going to defend the title tonight against Jericho. All right. Malenko goes back to see Lita and says, hey, I'll give you a shot at the light heavyweight title. If you win, you're the champ. But if I win, we're going to have a date on Thursday. Gives her chocolates. She takes one, eats it, and then smacks the chocolates right out of his hands into his face. Convenient that the date's going to be on Thursday so they can show it on SmackDown, don't you think?
Maybe it's the first day they had to get whatever.
Yeah, anyway.
Nothing. That's why you shouldn't ask me things. Like, I was doing great when I was pantomiming shit over here.
Yeah, it was great. It would have been better if I just turned off my monitor. Edge and Christian versus Road Dogg and K-Quick. Edge and Christian win. Angle goes to see Triple H and Rikishi. Wants to form an alliance as well, but we got to start tonight. Basically, he wants help in his title match tonight against Jericho. We see Vince skulking outside Austin's locker room, back from break. They're talking. Vince wants to protect his investment. This is going to be your first Hell in a Cell, and it could be your last. Will you stop making those jerk-off motions? It's really disturbing. We get.
I was really getting good at this whole like mime thing over here.
So we get our world title match. It's Angle versus Jericho, and we get a ref bump because wrestling. Lion Salt, no count. Teddy Long comes in, 2 count. Jericho locks in the walls. Kane pulls Teddy out of the ring. Jericho knocks Kane off the apron. Another ref bump. Angle hits a low blow. Angle slam. First ref is up just in time. Angle retains. And Kane choke slams Jericho. Angle storms into the locker room where Triple H and Rikishi are. Not happy that they weren't there for the save. And he's like, Triple H says, hey, man, relax, man. We were about to come out there, but we saw Kane. We figured you were all set. Why don't you sit down? Because that alliance thing you were talking about, that's a good deal. Let's talk about it. Next, you get the one Billy Gunn with Chyna versus Val Venus with Ivory for the IC title. Chyna's rabble-rousing with the ref. Venus uses the title. Chyna attacks Val Venus. It's a DQ. And Chyna gets a hold of Ivory and hits her with a power slam. And there's your WrestleMania preview right there. Not really, though. Vince goes to see The Rock next. Basically, he's going to everybody in the Hell in a Cell match, or at least all the faces, saying, hey, you don't want to do this. Hell in a Cell's nasty. It's terrible. Can end your career. We get Lita versus Malenko for the light heavyweight title, or a date. Malenko wins. Vince sees someone polishing Taker's motorcycle, not a euphemism. And guys like, Taker doesn't like anybody messing with his bike. He's like, why don't you just get the hell out of here? And he's sitting there and he's like a kid. He's like fake revving it up and steering it. It was kind of funny. We get an update from JR. Says Chyna's been taken to a medical center after the beatdown from Val Venus and Ivory. If I'm not mistaken, she's out until either WrestleMania or just before WrestleMania.
Just before. It's a neck injury that they're doing where, like, basically it seems like she has a broken neck and she is going to be out for, yeah.
Yep. Well, there you go. Let's see. Taker sees Vince on his bike, and Vince tells Taker to think about Hell in a Cell. And then Taker spits tobacco on Vince's suit jacket. Ew.
So gross.
Brown as brown comes.
Actually, someone having chew and spitting on someone's foot reminds me of No Holds Barred. Stan Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
The teeny wankers or whatever it is, and he spits a fucking chew right on their fucking foot. Oh, God.
Gross. Let's see. Regal versus Crash with Molly for the European title. Regal lost the European title to Crash at Rebellion in the UK this past Saturday because we know from history that WWE will not ever let you win in your hometown. It's just against the rules.
Which is funny. Meltzer's like, I can't believe they didn't let Nikki Bella win in her hometown for the title.
What are you, fucking new here?
You have been... It's your first year?
Anyway, Regal cuts a promo, calls out Molly for interfering. He wins the title back, though. Regal puts the Regal stretch on Molly. Hardcore makes the save. Back from break, we see Molly on the stretcher. Cut to Cole with Foley and Deborah. Foley books Regal versus Hardcore Holly and Kane versus Jericho in a last standing match for Armageddon. Vince comes in and says, you know what? I don't think that Hell in a Cell match is going to happen. And I got to go out and I have to announce the state of the WWF. So Vince comes to the ring. He says this all started with Linda appointing Foley as the commissioner. I disagreed with it. But through counseling, Vince and Linda, we've agreed to disagree. And only a sadist would take the 6 greatest superstars and put them in Hell in a Cell. Foley comes to the ring. Vince calls him Fat-Ass Foley. Foley says, nice jacket, Vince. Calls out Vince's questionable decisions, and he says, until I'm no longer commissioned, the Hell in a Cell match is happening. And here we just get crowd-pleasing moments because Austin comes to the ring, hits a stunner to Vince, grabs his beer, starts walking in the back. As he walks to the back, Rock comes out. Rock comes to the ring. Rock bottom to Vince. Rock heads up the ramp. And you guessed it, Taker comes out. And Taker comes in the ring. He hits the most gentle last ride I've ever seen. He made sure to just gently put Vince on the mat.
Like Mighty Ducks, like it's an egg.
Yeah.
Think about how you want to drop this guy.
And Taker leaves, and then Foley clowns Vince, and he pulls out Sacco, but he doesn't use it. But we cut to the back, and the heels in Hell in a Cell have jumped the faces. Faces are all busted open, beaten to hell. Good night, folks.
So, this was on December 10th, 2000, Armageddon. The upcoming pay-per-view, that's my birthday. So, for me at that point, I was turning 16, and I remember this was on the still those leather couches before the new room was made. The new room was made, set and ready to go for Royal Rumble, Pizzagate. But this was the last pay-per-view I did in this room, and it was okay to have my friends over because I had Spada and Zeke, and their total combined weight was 148 pounds. And my dad was like, those boys can sit on my couch. But we did get this pay-per-view for my birthday. I remember watching this one. This was a very big, one of the very first, like, what do you want to say? The Hell in a Cells where you're like, okay, it's gone a little too much for me. After Taker and Mankind, 2 years before, you're like, how can you top this? This one, if you remember it, we were like, that's what we expected. But this one, I actually remember watching, and we'll talk about that next week. But first,
after these messages,
we'll be right back.
When I hit 50, my body went through a big change, and not for the better. Severe erectile dysfunction shattered my confidence, set me into a depression, and almost ruined my marriage. And believe me, I tried everything. But then a friend told me about Zentrex, so I tried it. And it worked.
Zentrex is the strongest male enhancement drug on the market. It increases blood flow, boosts testosterone, and ends erectile dysfunction instantly.
So I asked my doctor about Zentrex, and he said, Zentrex? What the hell is Zentrex? And I said, Zentrex. It's the strongest male enhancement drug in the world, and it works. And he said he'd never heard of it. So I pulled up the Zentrex website and showed it to him. He started laughing. He said, are you insane, man? You can't put that junk in your body. It'll kill you. Your heart will stop. Rhino horn, ammonia hydroxide, that's what's in meth, right?
Zentrex is made strong enough to work on the most extreme cases of erectile dysfunction. And fast.
My doctor asked me, where'd you even hear about that? And I told him, a friend. And he said, well, what's his name? And I said, well, I don't really know him, actually. And he says, but you just said he's your friend. So I told my doctor, look, let's just forget about him and just write me a script for Zentrex, and I'll be on my way. My doctor said, are you deaf, man? No. I could lose my license. You could die. I said, yeah, I think I still want it, though, so give it to me. Write the prescription. I wasn't leaving. So he says, I think that website just froze my computer. So I grabbed him a little. And he goes, you're hurting me, sir. Zentrex works.
Side effects for Zentrex include fits of rage, acne, bleeding, baldness, blindness, whooping cough, hallucinations, coma, trouble swallowing, decrease in semen, increase in semen, nasal sores, constipation, vomiting, night terrors, amnesia, and suicidal urges.
And those are just the side effects they tell you about. I get the sweats, my bones are cold, my teeth are loose, my heart gets really, really hot. I could read minds. And sometimes I wake up driving a stolen car. But my erections are fantastic. When I wear gray sweatpants, people cross the street, which is fine. Zentrex gave me my life back. Hail Satan.
So threaten your doctor or ask your ketamine guy about South African Zentrex today.
It works.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Thanks a lot, Dwayne Johnson. Appreciate that.
I like how you're giving shout-outs to the sponsors.
Even though they're not.
Even though they're not.
Well, Troy McClure was okay.
Yeah, well, this segment brought to you by Drex Subs, not a sponsor. Nitro's in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nia Jax loves a good Drex sub. It's that fucking chopped up relish.
It's got to be the roast beef. It's got to be the roast beef.
That's what I like about it. It's what I like about you. You got a lot of roast
You got
beef.
a really fat pussy? No, I don't know.
Again, failed episode names. All right, Nitro.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Nitro, you said? Okay. The show opens
Main event, Nitro.
Yeah, I got you. Nebraska. So they're on the Nebraska college football field, and they have like one of the male cheerleaders or just some overzealous fan, go Huskers, go Huskers. And then Jarrett comes in and hits them with a guitar. We really should just open every Nitro like this. Thrillers are in the back. They run into OK. Oklahoma's back, everybody. Hooray. And the best part is he kind of dropped the over-the-top accent. Still looks the same. Still has the same name. Still has a little bit of a southern accent, but not stroke face accent. And Oklahoma says he wants to make sure we have security. So Oklahoma goes to the ring. Hooray! And he's got a punch bowl in his hand. Do you get where we're going here? Oklahoma is in Nebraska. See? Rivals.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Cheap Heat 101.
And there's a bowl.
Dude, again, Shivani is just... Again, they're checked out. They start talking. He's like... Because OK's just letting the booze rain down, right? But Shivani's like, hey, you only got 6 minutes in this segment, I'm like, what? Kayfabe, pal? What the fuck?
I'm supposed to not talk until minute 8. Come on, hurry up.
I know, right? Let's see. The bowl is the closest anyone in Nebraska will ever get to a bowl. And he says, Mike Sanders...
I'm glad you did that to your own joke.
I know, right?
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't my joke. I fucking just reading what happened here. Mike Sanders gave me the go-ahead to talk about one member of the WCW roster. That's Sid. And if Sid steps 1 inch out of line, security, police, and the National Guard will be on him like white on rice. So naturally, Sid comes out with no sign of security. Hits a chokeslam to OK. Then Sanders comes out with the police. And Shivani goes, well, better late than never.
Sure.
Sid gets cuffed, put in the cop car, taken
let's
away.
do that over again, everybody. Let's try it again.
Yeah, I know,
Take
right?
2.
He probably could have. He could probably hit 3 more by the time the cops got there. Steiner walks into the building, sees Sanders. Sanders wants to brag about getting Sid arrested. Steiner's not happy, though, because Steiner wanted a shot at Sid tonight. And now he can't because he's in the hospital. And he says, you get him back here. I want him here tonight, and no one is safe, not even Flair. The Broad is with the Animals. Conan's facing Jarrett tonight. Conan! And, yeah, that's about that. On Thunder, there was dissension between Lieutenant Loco and MIA, and now he is no longer Lieutenant Loco or with MIA. He is back to being Chavo Guerrero Jr.
But you ain't got no cool name. Never mind, I was trying to do the lieutenant thing. Never mind.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Chavo Jr. versus Kiwi. Chavo wins. Flair's with Sanders. Sanders telling Flair what Steiner said. Flair said, I'm going to get Sid out of jail in time for the main event and get security in case I don't. We see Brian Clark on the phone from Chronic. Says, tells the person on the phone, if you got the money, we're all good. So basically, they're APA now. Well, they have been basically for a while, but and they try to tease who hired them, but they really don't. Gene's with MIA. Apparently, Rection accidentally clocked Tori Wilson on Thunder. Rection has a title shot against Steiner tonight. And so why do they want Sid back? If you're facing Steiner, why does Steiner want Sid back? Okay, sure, whatever. You know what? I don't care. Elix Skipper with Team Canada versus Crowbar with Daphne for the hardcore title. The Cat and Miss Jones come out. Storm joins commentary. Cat kind of joins commentary too. He gets on the mic. He calls out Storm. He says, I'm out here to enjoy the match. And he looks at Mark Mann. He goes, then that includes you, my fat friend. And then Cat just starts strangling Madden again.
My fat friend.
Yep. It turns into a brawl. Duggan ends up hitting Storm by accident. Crowbar retains. This whole segment was an absolute shit show. Jimmy Hart's doing his promos again. David's with Stacy Keebler. Stacy's back because she's worried about David. But don't ask me who the father is. I'll tell you later. And then Ric Flair comes in and says, hey, Steiner's a madman. Get out of here. Then we get Reno with Marie. Hooray. Luger comes to the ring, cuts a promo on Goldberg, has a copy of Goldberg's book. Says Goldberg isn't here now, but he will be later. And he mentions in the book Goldberg giving props to Dwayne Bruce. He is one of the trainers at the power plant. You may remember him as the Sarge. Remember that?
Yep. I do remember the Sarge.
That was a long time ago. The Sarge happens to be in the front row. And then Luger starts reading passages from the book. And Shivani says it's like Kaufman reading The Great Gatsby. Good reference, but no.
Great reference, but no, 100%.
Yeah.
You're right. Like I like the effort.
Good pull, yeah. A for effort. Luger's running down Sarge. Security shows up to keep Sarge from hopping the barricade, and we cut to Goldberg arriving to the arena. We see Norman Smiley with what I assume is one of the Nitro Girls. Steiner shows up. The Nitro Girl powders immediately, and Steiner beats the shit out of Smiley. Rection and AWOL are talking in the back, and in the background we see Chavo talking to Corporal Cajun. The other two see it, and it's just that kind of shtick. Ric Flair's talking to Arn Anderson and Fit Finlay at Gorilla. Says, when the matches are over, get these wrestlers out of here. Tell them to get their stuff and go. We don't want Steiner getting to anybody. Next, you got 3 Count versus Nash and DDP for the tag titles. Nash and DDP obviously retain. The Thrillers come out. Sanders says, hey, man, I'm here to break your hearts. Let's get Ric Flair out here. And Sanders calls out something from Mayhem, the pay-per-view that we just had. Nash pinned Stasiak. Stasiak wasn't the legal man. I went back and I rewatched it myself. That's not a quote. I mean, I'm saying I actually went back just to make sure they weren't pulling a fast one. And yeah, sure as shit. And the thing is, when it happened, like when that segment, like when the ending of that match happened, Shivani actually calls out that Stasiak wasn't the legal man. So they did it.
So they had to do this redo because it wasn't a planned finish. That was smart.
Yep,
smart
pretty much.
Well, not smart, but since Tony called it out, they're like, God damn it, we're going to have to call this out on TV now.
Or it was just a bad angle all along. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah.
It is WCW in the year 2000. So Ric Flair tells Nash and DDP, for the integrity of WCW and the titles, you got to give those belts over. And it's going to be the perfect event versus the Insiders at Starrcade. They are calling themselves Starrcade, or the Insiders. So next, Mike Awesome was able to tell the future because he pulled a Peter Griffin. He's walking by an ambulance, and as he walks by, the door goes flying open, hits him in the shoulder, and Mike Awesome goes, ah, ah.
Did Death pop out and talk to him?
Maybe the chicken guy showed up. Bam Bam comes out of the ambulance, starts beating the shit out of Awesome. Next, you get Reno versus apparently Chronic. I think it was supposed to be Brian Clark, but Chronic just comes out and hits their finishers a few times. It's a no contest. Marie's watching from the back. Vito comes out to make the save. Marie comes to the ring as well, and then Vito bounces. So apparently Chronic were hired to beat the shit out of Reno. Great. We get a Glacier promo again, which is hilarious because in the little text that comes up on the screen, it literally says again. Even they're like,
coming soon. Again.
Maybe. Crowbar with Daphne. They're teasing a romantic tension between them. And it looks like they might embrace or kiss. And then Crowbar leaves with what I'm guessing is a couple of the Nitro Girls. And Daphne looks a bit distraught. And a PA comes up to Daphne. And Daphne hisses at him. Ric Flair's with security. And he says, we can't get Sid out of the clinker before the end of the show, so let's keep an eye on Steiner. Smooth versus Goldberg. It's a squash. He's 27-0. Jeff Jarrett versus Conan. Jeff Jarrett and the Harris Brothers versus the Animals at Starrcade. Jarrett wants the rest of the Animals sent to the back. But the Harris Brothers interfere while the ref's distracted. Jarrett wins. And then we get our main event. It is Hugh G. Rection versus Scott Steiner for the world title. This might be the longest main event in recent memory for a WCW Nitro. I think they had a good 15 minutes when the bell rang on this one.
For two non-wrestlers at this point.
Yeah, right? Steiner retains. He gets on the mic. He says, "Time is up. Ric Flair, your ass is mine." Steiner gets to Gorilla, and he starts attacking Arn Anderson, drags him to the ring, puts him in a Steiner recliner. Flair wants to head to the ring, and Finlay stops him. Goldberg out to make the save. Luger cuts him off immediately. Flair and security then eventually saunter to the ring as Arn Anderson is locked in the recliner. Then Sid returns out of nowhere, and it ends on a pull-apart. Good night, folks.
So a normal ending to Nitro. They may have had a long main event, but it was still a normal ending.
It was still a fucking shit show, yeah.
God bless it. Well, NWA, WCW, they were the ones that kind of started the whole War Games setup. I'm not going to say it right, so I'm going to have you do it when we begin the next segment, but let's hit the top topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for...
Best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. Hold 2, arm bar.
Sodas rule. Yeah, they do.
Hold 3, the moss-covered, 3-handle family gradunzel.
It's me, Austin!
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
I did it for The Rock.
This week's top topic.
You know something, Mean Gene? John Cena!
Wrestling's not fake.
The Rolex wearing one, diamond ring wearing one, kid stealing, woo, wheeling dealing one, limousine riding one, jet flying one, son of a gun, woo.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
If you smell.
The following ranking order and final decisions are a completely bias-based order, based off The Professor and ODM made it. And as always, they like to let you know they have not worked in the business, but have been lifelong invested fans much like you, our listeners. With not only their opinions involved, but with countless amount of hours of research done each week, they make sure to provide proper facts and history to back it up. However, they do know that your opinion may vary from theirs. If there is anything you want to chat about, bring to their attention. If there is something they missed or forgot, or you just want to let them know they are out of their freaking minds, feel free to shoot them a message on Facebook or Twitter, or email them at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com. As always, they do appreciate all feedback and continued support. At the end of the day, they want to make sure that you do see the best of the best before you die. And now, this week's top topic.
Today, our top topic, we teased it several times. It's WWE and NXT's version of
War Games!
God, you do it so much better. You have a way better British accent. If I did it from Ireland or Scotland or...
God, I'm Irish!
God, I can't speak another language. Look, what I wanted to do, originally I thought was going to be to rank these in, best to worst or vice versa. But each one is in its own right, and I just want to go through and discuss, because the more I look at the progression of what began for... this was 2018, I think, was the very first War Games. Moving on from there, have they gotten better? Have they gotten worse? And that's what today's conversation is going to be about. Obviously, the first 5 began in NXT. So let's talk about those. The very first one, I think, personally set a bar when it came to a good War Games match, at least for, I don't know, team supremacy, whatever you want to go for. And it was a 3-team setup. It was the Undisputed Era. You had Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly against Sanity, which was Eric Young, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf. And then you had AOP and Roderick Strong. Let's fast forward to the end. Roderick Strong turns on his own team and joins the Undisputed Era. Strong came out dressed like AOP too. He had the bulletproof vest on and everything. This was... this was AOP... it was AOP and Strong. That's right, yeah. I loved how this whole setup was. To me, again, it was the beginning, the standard of what a WWE version of NXT, of a War Games match was. I don't think they did shark cages at this point, did they?
I don't think they did shark cages, and there was still no roof on the cell.
There was no roof because Adam Cole did get up to the top.
Yeah.
They stopped having the roof completely altogether once you came into NXT's version. Blood and Guts is the one that has the roof. We will give them that. Which is weird that WWE kind of owns the archive and everything to WCW, and they're like, no roof for us.
I know, right?
Escape plan.
Well, they want to make sure Sid doesn't powerbomb somebody into it.
Oh, God. Brian Pillman. Jesus Christ. So this one, I think, pretty decent to begin with. The next one, I think, began more of an athleticism version. All 4 members of the Undisputed Era against War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. And in the first one, the Undisputed Era, they won that match. In the second one, this is where the faces won. So War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. Ricochet, no one ever did anything with me over there.
Yeah, I know, right?
AEW. I like this one. I think it had its own version of, I already said athleticism, but strength. When you put the War Raiders in there, they could do a lot of different shit that other people can't by throwing you from one side to the other or being strong enough to hold you to do some crazy moves. Very big fan of this one. I like this one. But a personal favorite comes in at number 3. Undisputed Era win for their 3rd straight match. And they go against Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, and they didn't have a 4th member. I think someone got injured or they just never had a member. And they waited all the way to the end to have the 4th member officially come out. And it was WWE version of Kevin Owens. He had been on the roster for several years at this point. But when his hit, the crowd lost their fucking minds. And he came into Wargames. This is a personal favorite of mine. The Faces won this one. This is the one that Tommaso Ciampa does his... kind of like what Sheamus does with White Noise, where he tucks
Air Raid, I think it's called.
Yep. Onto a table from the top of the cage.
From the top. I was actually watching this I was at my parents'. We were watching it there. And I think my brother was dating his wife at the time, and she was watching it, and we saw that spot, and we're like... And I think even my sister-in-law now, she's like, oh, he did a really good job, though, of cradling his head to make sure he didn't break his neck. I mean, Ciampa's a smart worker, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was evident there.
I mean, it could have been very easy considering Cole's a twig. And in their 4th appearance, Undisputed Era, they finally get a win back because they had lost the last 2. And this time they beat Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, and One and Lorcan, as you remember them. They were a great tag team in NXT at the time. They began more in the UK era, but made their way into NXT as well. This was a decent one. It was okay. This was the pandemic, which is, I give everything a pass, I guess, in the pandemic. That's nothing you can do about it at that point. Like everybody's trying everything, throwing pots of spaghetti at the wall. The one that's probably the least amount watched, I probably would have to say, and I put money on you probably didn't even watch this, but I did. It was Team NXT versus NXT 2.0. So black and gold versus, I don't know, pink, blue, purple, green, yellow, white, neon. Whatever the fuck they were. Neon. And the Neon team actually won, which was Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo, and Carmelo Hayes against Pete Dunne, LA Knight, and DIY. It's kind of it just lost in the shuffle. It's decent, it's okay, but I personally would have to say, by far, probably one of the worst ones out of everything they did. But this was the end of... This was 2.0 really going at this point, and everybody's like, I'm not really happy with what everything's going on in NXT, so no one really gave a shit at this match.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think they just died off over the years because, like you said, like we were talking earlier, after you've seen it, after you've raised the bar, you can only raise it so high. There's only so much you can do. I think the first 3 were all fantastic. I think as a trilogy of War Games matches in NXT, that's a good compilation of matches right there, those first 3.
Agreed.
The first one was cool just because I loved Sanity, and it was 3 teams with the turn, right? So that was good. The second one, you had the War Raiders, who you had talked about being able to throw people around. Don't forget, Ivar, I think, is Ivar the bigger one?
Mm-hmm.
He's athletic as fuck. He can do a moonsault, you know what I mean?
He
can do
did a
high spots
moonsault
and
in
shit.
that match, too.
Yeah, so... and then obviously the third one with Kevin Owens was unexpected. But, yeah, after that, it was kind of watered down. And I think that's when they started doing the women's ones.
For NXT's version, at least.
Yes.
And you know, if you want to talk watered down, we'll talk about the women's another day. But then came the WWE version.
Right.
I think that their best one was their first one, personally, which is the Bloodline, which is the Usos, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn against the Brawling Brutes, which was Pete Dunne, Ridge Holland, and Sheamus, as well as Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. And this is where the Bloodline win. Sammy showed his full allegiance to the Bloodline. This, to me, I think this sent the mark for a WWE version of what War Games was. I think they did a great job this night.
Mm-hmm.
The next one was Team Rhodes versus the Judgment Day. So you got Cody, a returning Randy Orton, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn. They defeated the Judgment Day, which was Baylor, McDonough, Dirty Dom, and Damian Priest, as well as a joining member of Drew McIntyre. This was an okay match, but I gotta be honest with you, nothing fucking compares to 5 minutes after the match is done, CM Punk showed up. I don't remember this match. I remember CM Punk showing up.
It's Punk returning because they looked like they were going to go off the air. They had the stamp in the corner, right?
Yep.
So you figure going up. And Seth Rollins freaking out.
That and the video backstage of Randy Orton going, "Can I not enjoy 15 minutes of my fucking return?"
Yeah.
And Punk goes, "I did it just to fuck with you." But they were cool with each other, laughing and shit. But that was an okay one. I remember JD McDonough taking the RKO off the top of the cage, and Rhea Ripley all of a sudden thinking she could just do a cash-in the middle of the thing for Damian Priest. While 15 guys are in the ring, and it's like, no, I'm cashing in right here. It didn't make much sense. It was more for the Randy Orton return. However, again, it just took a step down from the year before. Bloodline with Owens, Brawling Brutes, and McIntyre. Last year, I think a lot of things were on the line for WrestleMania. They did a good job. This is where CM Punk and the OG Bloodline, so the Usos, Roman, and Sammy, defeating the new Bloodline. So, let's see, so Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, and Bronson Reed. And this one was mainly set up on a lot of WrestleMania. You know, Punk and Roman. I think that it gave us an idea as to what we're going to be seeing. I think it was a better version than the year before with the Team Rhodes versus Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Not great. So then we talk about this year. The heels win. We already talked about it. The Vision with Lesnar and McIntyre defeat Usos, Reigns, Rhodes, and Punk. Was this the worst War Games out of WWE? And we have to include NXT, I would assume. But let's just say on the WWE side of things, would you say just... Because, I mean, we have 9 matches in total. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are WWE versions.
Right. Honestly, I mean, I think this last one, I think was okay. Again, I like the more faction-based stuff, which this was on the Vision side, at least, I guess. Sure. And all the people that the Vision are feuding with independently. Honestly, I think NXT versus NXT 2.0 might be the worst one.
Yes, 100%. And I watched it in prep, and like I said, athleticism's there. It's cool, but
sure,
it was just a... Well, what do we do? We're in the middle of a pandemic. What if we brought some old guys back and have them face some of the new guys here? That's really all that was. I think that the one from this past weekend, the star power alone raises it to be pretty good no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the outcome you wanted. Maybe there wasn't turns or heel turns and things like that. But star power wise, the way they started with Punk and Breaker, out next was, I can't remember. Maybe
I don't remember.
I can't fully remember. But the next one for the faces was Cody Rhodes. You came out swinging with both of your champions as your first two guys. To me, I liked it, and they saved both Brock and Roman to the end. Overall, I'm not mad at it. I was entertained with how they did this past War Games, honestly.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, again, I'm beating a dead horse here, but War Games, once you've seen it, it's kind of hard to fucking overcome it, right?
Yeah. Until you pull a shotgun out and shoot someone and he still lives and gets the pin, I can't really, you're not
until
really
you
shocking
me
too much anymore.
But here's the thing. Again, we did have one side was a stable who just lost their leader, and Breaker's turned on him. He's, Rollins seems like he ain't welcome back to the Vision anymore. It's Breaker's show now, right? And you had Heyman at ringside, and then you had your individual, but you had your two champs on the face team. I mean, again, you look at this lineup next to the Usos, everybody else, and I mean, you got to include Jay, I guess, as much as you hate him.
Main event level people.
Yeah, these. I mean, and Lesnar and Roman alone.
Well, I was gonna say Jimmy Uso and Logan Paul were the least biggest star powers in it, and Jimmy to me is more athletic and better wrestling than Jey Uso.
Oh fuck!
So
yeah.
I like watching him way more anyway. Logan, still does his thing. I will say we didn't bring this up earlier, but how about that little kid that just made it through security and tried to hug Paul Heyman? He's like, boom, fucking shoves him out of the way, and there's no heat on him because security, they fucked up. It wasn't Heyman. They fucked up to let that happen. And that kid was like, I will never cheer for Heyman again.
Yep, never meet your heroes, kids. We've said it before.
Oh, it was fantastic. I like that we broke down the War Games here because, like I said, they've been up and down throughout the last several years, but you're right. Nothing really kills it than 2020 with NXT, the 2.0 versus Black and Gold.
Yeah, and you don't have to hear War Pigs for another year, so that's good.
I know.
I love that song still.
I do, but they actually beat it to the point where I don't. That's what's weird.
I gotcha.
I bet you Becky hated to hear it this year after that whole Ozzy comment. And
yeah, well.
Never mind. Next week, it's a movie breakdown. This one, I know I don't have to ask you if you've seen it, because I know you have. Eddie Valiant. I'm going to work on it this week, but I'm going to work on my Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Loved this as a kid. The intro alone, the baby, my Stokey. It's going to be a good one next week. I'm excited to talk about that one. What's that? Bob Hopkins, is that who it was? That's the main guy. Eddie Valiant.
Hoskins, I think it's Hoskins.
Hoskins, thank you. Love this movie. It's a good one. We'll be able to talk about that. Jessica Rabbit, Anyway. So get your direct subs, your nice roast beef subs from Nia Jax. Next week, we'll be back talking about Roger Rabbit. We'll be talking about some wrestling, but even more so, I'll be here because I'm a professor and I bid you a farewell. He'll be here next week because he's ODM and he leaves you with his final thoughts.
Thanks, Professor. Cream pie? The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM The Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
How about this? I'll make a cream pie. You make a cream pie. We'll make them together and see what we think. Maybe we can make a really good batch together.
Wait, you're going to give cream pies to kids? Yeah, their parents are going to be there.
Kids are going to love it. Jesus fucking Christ. The fact that you just lifted up a cream pie. You motherfucker. Oh, the cream pie one. Just the going over their head, the whole fucking thing of the cream pie is just
Frank showing
me.
the fish factory owner guy the video.
If we're being honest, I have tasted my own.
And I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
I liked it.
I got to tell you, this is really funny. About 15 minutes before we got on to record, Facebook was like, would you like to see your memories? Yeah, why not? And in 2018 or 19, no, I'm sorry, it was 2022. Oh, yeah. Me sitting on a bench in front of the RV going, did you know CGI has not only been remote for this long, but they've been doing it much longer? Me, I've been traveling. They had me do a video where I kissed their ass and all that shit.
I remember that,
I go,
yeah.
I want to fucking share it and go, hey, do you remember when I worked with this company? Well, they fucking fired me.
And everything I said was a load of horse shit.
It was scripted. Fuck them. Fuck you, America. CGI, you grind my gears.
Yeah, right?